Today on the podcast, we have Grace Novack, our digital marketing associate.
She's the glue to Brooke and I.
Yeah, even though we haven't had her on the podcast yet, she's definitely worked with everybody that's been on the podcast. She edits them, does the video, posts them. We're so grateful.
She does it all.
Yeah, she does it all.
Yeah, it's fun.
We just show up. So today we are going to talk about TikTok. Knock, knock. It's TikTok clock or whatever. I don't know. So first of all, let's just dive right in. I mean, why would real estate agents even use TikTok?
Yeah, TikTok Reels. Give us your expertise.
Everyone should be using TikTok to begin with, just because it has grown in popularity so quickly. Everyone's on the app. There is a very wide age range of people who use it, but a lot of people who are buying houses are using TikTok. A lot of people who are just graduating college or in college who are looking to either buy their first home or maybe invest later down the line. It's good to start building those relationships and showing up and being authentic and showing what your day looks like and showing houses, just so you can start targeting those younger markets so that they can become familiar with you for later down the line when they're looking to buy a house.
Absolutely.
Well, and we've talked about this before on other avenues and things like that, but it's free.
Yeah. Free marketing. There's no better marketing.
Absolutely. And not only is the demographic way wider than most people assume, because most people assume it's 13, 14-year-old on the app. Actually, 37% of the users on the app have a household income of higher than $100,000 a year. So these are people that are spending money, and they're
willing to spend money,
to spend money for sure. And what's really cool is I just found out that so Alphabet, the parent company of Google and YouTube and everything like that, TikTok surpassed Google last year as the most visited website.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I know.
But it's true. I mean, people are using TikTok as a search engine now. If you're looking for DIY projects or recipes or real estate or anything, people are using it to search for different things and learn about different things more now than they're using even Google, I guess.
Well, I know when I was renovating my townhome, I would go on TikTok and look up different DIY projects because I knew that it would show me things that were literally showing me it versus an article written about different projects. Mm-hmm. And it's when you see somebody doing something, it feels much more attainable. So an example of content would be showing the different steps of the home buying process, and it helps people visualize themselves in that story, and it feels more attainable.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And no one wants to read a long article to learn about what they need to know before they buy a house or what they need to know to get pre-approved or anything like that. If you search on TikTok and you find videos that explain tips, it's going to be a short 30-second video that tells you everything you need to know.
Well, so that's where I wanted to kind of start with you, is because we like tangible things, A, B, and C, things like that. So let's start with, what are some ideas or things that you think that agents or loan officers for video-wise and content should be posting now?
There are so many different ways you can go about posting. You can do a day in your life to let people know what it looks like when they are looking for a house or when they are looking for different loan options or things like that. You could also do frequently asked questions and talk about that. You could do a market update or staging tips. Pretty much anything that you get asked a lot about within your industry or within your career are things that people typically want to know and are going to be looking for on TikTok as well.
So I know on Instagram, we've talked about this, it's important to sprinkle your personal life within also your career, your job, whatnot, of what you're doing. Do you find also in TikTok it's important to okay, so first the agent's going to maybe take a tour of the house or this awesome bathroom or whatnot, but then is it also important then the next thing is to be potty training is going crazy or something like that? Is that actually beneficial on there compared to pictures?
Yeah, I mean, I think it really depends on the person and what you're comfortable with sharing, because you also don't want to do something that's not you, because when you're finding people that you could potentially work with, you don't want to be putting on this like facade or posting things that you only think people will like. You want to post things that are you and are true to you too. But at the same time, I think first and foremost, before people even started really using TikTok as a search engine, it was for entertainment. And so posting things, keeping up with trends is a huge part of TikTok. So whether it's like a dancing video or talking about something in your life, but just grabbing people's attention, whether that's talking about something industry related or something in your personal life, is honestly the most important aspect of the video, is to grab attention. So regardless of what it is that you're actually posting about, as long as you're kind of following those guidelines and getting people's attention and posting things that are interesting, then yeah. But it also depends on who your target market is. I mean, if you're posting videos talking about potty training and your target market is a bunch of college students, like that's not gonna work out in your favor very well. So just being aware of who your target market is and staying true to yourself is what you should do.
And it's all about just building the brand, right? Like, because it's hard to show what ROI is going to come from that. So it's really just building the brand of Lizzie Kondravi or, real estate agent.
And being consistent, because you never know what's going to go viral either. I mean, you can follow all the trends and you still might be that video that gets 3 likes, 30 likes, but it only takes one video to go viral and really grow your audience.
One thing I've found too about TikTok, like from my own consumption of the content on the app, is that I will follow somebody if their content is niche, because I know what to expect from that account. Like on Instagram, like following people and your friends and stuff like that, like, yeah, you want to definitely build relationships, and as a real estate agent you want people to see who you are, but I would argue like sticking to real estate on your app on TikTok, so when people follow you, they know what they're going to be getting. So I would say it's like it's less personal, but it's almost more personal because you are showing the personal side of the professional parts of your job.
Right.
Like for example, I follow a ton of real estate creators on TikTok just to see like what they're posting in compared to like what people in Minnesota are posting like all over the country. And there's these 2 women that are a team together, and they'll do some of the trends, but they always like relate it back to real estate, like kind of like how we're doing with our TikTok 30-day challenge on Instagram. Reels, Instagram challenge, both on TikTok and on Reels. But like, for example, they'll be in the car before a listing appointment and it's like a candid video of them, and it'll show the outside of the house, and it'll be like, we already know what we want to do to get this listing ready to hit the market. Like what are your guys' suggestions? And then they'll share like what they suggest. So like also sharing, like things that you could do to like increase the value of your home, but making it more candid than like a Canva Instagram post, because like on Canva that would be like a bullet pointed graphic, whereas like now you can share it just like you.
Right. Yeah, it all goes back to just being you, and I think a lot of times people think like it's either personal or it's professional, but with TikTok and in this day and age, we're just seeing that those two are intertwined more than ever before.
Yeah, like integration. You're not like, especially as a real estate agent, when you're working, like you don't work a 9 to 5 and then clock out and you're done. And like your clients, like a lot of real estate agents, like your clients don't come to you just for real estate needs. Like eventually, like you become like their therapist. You become like so many important things to them. And so it's like having that integration between who you are as a person and who you are professionally, because they're kind of the same thing, because you are your business, you are your brand.
Yeah. And the more you embrace that and post things that align with your brand, you are going to find your market and who your clients should be. And the algorithm, especially on TikTok, is just so great at bringing up videos that are related to things that you like or are related to things that you're interested in. So just being consistent within your brand and with posting every so often, you're going to find the clients that are right for you.
And when do you suggest you do post? Anytime? Does it matter? Like, back in the day. But like it used to be important to, and there's analytics on, I know, Instagram, but like, oh, this is how many people are on Instagram during this time, men and women, yada, yada. Would you say that it's important to put a video out every day at noon or at 5 p.m. or does that not really matter?
I think, again, it kind of depends on who you're targeting. It depends on whatever group of people you're going after. Because the age group, especially that you're going after, are probably going to be active on the apps at different time. So just knowing and understanding your target market will help you understand kind of when to post, because if you're targeting people who are already graduated and they're working their 9 to 5s, they're probably not going to be as active on the app during that time. So you
Hopefully
might want to
not.
Yeah, I mean, except for me, because it's kind of my job.
Yeah.
But so you might want to focus then on posting after that time. But it really just goes back to knowing your market, knowing who you're trying to reach.
I would argue too that a lot of the statistics that you see, like if you research what time to post on certain apps, they're using worldwide data. Mm-hmm. So yes, 150 million people might be on the app at 8 a.m. on Sundays, but that doesn't necessarily reflect who is following you and when they're seeing your videos.
That's my point. I don't know if that matters anymore like it used to 2-3 years ago, even pre-pandemic. I think it mattered when you posted, and it also mattered because you wanted likes, right? A lot of people were like, how can we get the most likes? So, but I don't think that matters anymore.
Yeah. And I also just think that especially on TikTok, and you'll even see this on Instagram, well, not really as much on Instagram, but TikTok, I will see reel or TikToks on my For You page that are from a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it recycles content, but kind of going back to the content piece of things and being niche is when you're posting something, TikTok is looking for who should we send this out to? Whose algorithm are we going to punch this into? Because they know if you're looking for a home. They know if you've been researching DIY things, they know. Mm-hmm. And so if you are kind of all over the place with your content, TikTok's going to be confused and not know where to send your videos to. And the same thing goes with hashtags.
Yeah. And kind of going off of that, when you were saying it doesn't really matter because you'll see TikToks from weeks ago or even months ago sometimes. The only thing that really matters with that is when you first post a video, TikTok's gonna keep showing your video for a longer period of time if it does get a lot of engagement and traction right off the bat. So I think that that's the only piece that makes it a little bit important of when you post. But if you want to find specific for your brand when the best times are to post, there are so many different apps and services that you can use that can track and get analytics for your different pages on Instagram, on TikTok, on any social media platform. And they'll tell you when the best time is to post, when your followers are most active. But being consistent and posting that goes along with your brand is also really important, because even just from my personal use with TikTok too, when I see videos from a certain creator, I don't necessarily follow them the first time I see them. But if that creator keeps coming up on my For You page and it's something that I'm interested in every single time, then I'll follow them.
Okay, and I have on mine, I don't follow a lot of people, but I there's a certain Bravo person who her name's Paige, and I got her video and I like it, and now all her videos come up and I like it, but I don't follow her. But she continues to be just on my For You page.
Yeah.
Are hashtags important?
Yes, but it depends on the hashtags that you're using. Hashtags can be important, but if you're using hashtags that aren't relevant to your content and you're only using hashtags that are trending or that you think people will search a lot, then it might not work out for you to use a ton of hashtags, because you want to make sure that when people are searching a hashtag or looking through TikToks that are in that hashtag, you want to make sure it's still relevant to that and not just in a completely different genre just because you think it's going to get more views.
Okay, because that's what I was wondering, because some TikToks that I see, they'll have hashtag of trends that I don't even know what's going on, but it'll be Pepsi something. Yeah. And I'm what is why is that in there?
Yeah, and that might be good for getting views if that's your goal, because if a hashtag is trending and you use a video and put that trending hashtag on, it might come up on more For You pages. But if you're really trying to find your target market and your dream clients, if you're using unrelated hashtags that aren't consistent with your brand, it's not going to do a whole lot for
No,
you.
it confuses the algorithm again. Like that's what
Right.
it does. Like TikTok is like, I have no idea who to send this out to. So then they don't send it out to as many people because they could send it out to people who fit all three of, like, let's say you're doing 3 different hashtags, kind of unrelated hashtags. It doesn't know which one path to follow.
To go down.
So I would say a way to like hack hashtags, especially on TikTok, even on Instagram, is using the trending audio to get more views versus like how you would use hashtags to get more views. Like that's like the traditional model. Now it's like use the audio to get the views and the hashtags to find your people.
Yeah, and when you're using the audio to get the views, you can still tailor that to whatever your brand is, like whether that's what you caption it or what you do in the video. So it's so much easier to kind of use an audio in that way to still fit your brand, but a hashtag is just a hashtag. You can't really do anything else with it.
Another like hack I want to talk about, like in related to like creating these videos, is like creating accessible content, because not everybody is viewing these videos with sound, even though like when you are going on TikTok, you are intentionally like, you are in the mindset of like, I'm about to watch like an hour of videos probably, you know what I mean? Like I'm about to go down a rabbit hole. It's kind of like what people do. But versus Instagram, they go and they like flip their stories for like 3 seconds because they're just like checking their thing and then they put it down. TikTok is more like people are spending more time on it. So to ensure longer watch times, like make sure that you're creating things that people can like actually consume. Like they're not like, oh, I can't watch this because there's no captions or whatever. So I would utilize the free TikTok in the app hashtags or put the text like in the video. And there's a ton of tutorials that you can watch even like on TikTok or YouTube about how to create these. So we're not like going to go into like the specifics of that on this podcast because it's kind of hard to walk through like, you know, physically making a TikTok on that. But also I recently saw, and I found this in myself, if you make a TikTok and it's like a pause and then you're like, hey guys, this is blah, 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 blah. Like you're immediately like, no, this person's trying to sell me something. Like you, especially on TikTok, like you're just, people aren't on TikTok to get like intentionally sold something.
Right.
It's more like subconsciously like selling things. So I saw this hack to like, first of all, don't like say hi and introduce yourself because they know who you are because your profile is like shows up when your video shows up. But like trim out any dead time at the beginning. Like the time it takes for you to start talking, like when you press and then you talk, like that's like a second. People have already like,
because you only have like 3 seconds, right? Isn't that like the...
Not even anymore, I feel like with people's attention spans.
Well, yeah, because there's so much overstimulation just on TikTok alone because it's video after video of just like high energy, people doing crazy things, funny videos. Like you're getting so much within just the app. So when you have that dead time, people are immediately bored, even if it is a second or two.
Yeah, so like just trimming that out and immediately getting to the point. And then if you are, especially if you're making a TikTok of you talking, or I mean most TikToks, I think like this is a great hack, is doing it in clips. So say you're going to talk about something, you'll do a clip going like that, you know, facing one way, and then you'll do a clip in like a different position and then do like another clip, because it keeps people's attention going intrigued because it's switching up, like your mind is like getting stimulated differently. So like no matter what you're talking about, I highly recommend using like multiple clips for that, just to try to hack and get more engagement and people to stay on your video for longer.
Good insight, Cookie.
I know. That's what happens when you start following people on TikTok who are like, who give TikTok hacks. So also you can definitely like search for those people and like follow them as well to get those hacks from them. So also, let's not forget about how important like your bio is on TikTok, right? Because you really want to, since TikTok only gives you one clickable URL in your bio, so you only have one chance to use it, you know? So like what goes in your bio?
Is that as important in Instagram too?
Yeah, because TikTok or Instagram only has one bio or one link. So use it wisely and use something that you can direct people to multiple avenues.
Should it be consistent and stay the same, or is it okay to be different?
It's okay to be different.
Yeah, I think it's okay to be different, but then also even what you're putting in your Instagram bio is kind of where you want people to go. So I feel like more times than not, it's probably going to be the same, just because you only have like so many places that you're going to direct people to for your brand or for your company. But yeah, it definitely doesn't need to be the same.
It's just nice to have like a link tree, or I like the app Milkshake, because that way if you're talking about something in a TikTok, your call to action can be like link in my bio, like link in my bio. Like a lot of people I see on TikTok now too, if they're doing like a DIY, they'll show like a little clip on TikTok and then they'll be like, more in my Instagram story highlights. So then you gotta like go to their profile, you gotta click on their thing, you gotta find their Instagram.
I loathe that.
I hate that. So like make it easy for people to interact with you. So make it right there on TikTok or right there on Instagram so they can immediately click your bio and like click through.
Yeah, because I even see so many videos about people doing like hauls on Amazon or something. And even if they post this screenshot of exactly what they got, no one's going to go and look it unless you really, really want that item. Like no one's going to go look it up and order it. But when people say like, oh, it's in my Amazon storefront, just go click the link and it'll bring you right to the listing and then buy it from there. Just makes it so much easier, and it just eliminates one more step of having to do it yourself.
100%.
So there's a few things to remember. We kind of like touched on a lot of things. But just, I would say like measure your success based on your engagement versus converting people to clients right away. Just because, ask yourself, like, are people interacting with my content? Are they asking for more when I have a call to action? And if they're not, like, don't be afraid to switch it up and try something else and see if that gets more engagement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, even I think you should be switching it up, not necessarily what you need to post, but like even if you're getting good engagement, like people get bored with the same thing over and over again. So it's good to keep things fresh and post different types of videos and kind of play around with it until you really find what works for you and your brand.
I would also say, we've touched on this like a ton throughout every single different aspect, is like defining your audience.
Yeah, your target market.
Everybody wants to be the real estate agent for everybody, but nobody can be everything for everybody.
Yeah. And you only want to work with, you guys have talked about this on so many different podcast episodes and especially at the speaker panel too, but you only want to work with the people who are your dreamy clients, who are going to fit well with you and mesh well with you and just work well together. You want to have your own target market that goes with your brand, not just a fits all kind of thing.
Flying by the seat of your pants.
Yeah.
And that just helps you like to create more niche content for Instagram, for TikTok, for your website, blog posts. Like you can expand it to everything in your business and just like hone in. Because like there's so many agents and loan officers in the state of Minnesota. And especially right now, like there's more agents than there are homes for sale. So like make sure you are the go-to agent for your specific thing versus trying to like, how you can't stand out in a sea of everybody.
No, and doing the same videos and doing the same content over and over again that everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
Like drop the sold sign.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No offense. Also just like create a content calculator
Calculator?
Content calendar.
Yeah.
We
it can
do
be
that.
so easy to push off, especially making TikToks, because it's something that you actually have to engage with. Not necessarily engage with, but you have to like be active in a video and actually get up and pick your audio, pick what you're going to do and think about it a little more, and then film a video. So it can be so easy to push off and forget about. But when you create a content calendar and actually hold yourself accountable is when you're going to start being consistent and seeing those results.
And would you say that's probably like at a 2-week span, because like trends are changing so much, so you don't want to do it like, oh, here's in the beginning of the month of what June is going to look like, but that's like then trends are changing. So
yeah, for sure, because you also don't want to be that brand who's trying to keep up with the trends and you're jumping on a trend a month after it came out, because then it's already gone and passed and people are going to be like, oh, that's a brand who just doesn't get it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, I think that's really important. And there's so many different ways that you can find what's currently trending, even just within the TikTok app when you go to the navigation section and it'll show you sounds that are still trending. But then there's so many different websites too, like later.com, that shows you what sounds are relevant and how to use the sound and walks you through it. So it makes it really easy to find what's relevant right now.
beautiful. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. And just like understand that content trumps execution. So like I personally feel like these influencers on Instagram, like these gorgeous, highly edited photos and just curated feeds like do not perform the same on TikTok. People go on TikTok to like see real people and interact with like real people, like you without your makeup on talking about how you just had a crazy listing appointment or like something like that. Like people want like to feel like they're your friend and that like you're talking to them
and they know you.
Exactly.
It's the difference between like Instagram versus reality.
Yes.
Right? Like Instagram versus TikTok, like of who you really are instead of
who you're curating.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really, like when you film a video for TikTok, you don't need to do 10 takes to get the perfect video. I mean, if you like really mess up bad and you want to redo it, that's fine. But it doesn't need to be perfect to be posted.
I'm like a 2-3 taker. Brooke's like one and done. I'm like
because people just relate to it so much more. Like even if you do have a little mess up or you stutter or something when you're talking, like people go there to see authentic people, not to see your best face. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like fake.
Yeah.
And people see right through it. You guys, we've been living through it for years now, and especially like with the pandemic, I feel like it just changed so many people's outlooks. Like, and there's a reason why TikTok is so successful and is just dominating, and people are spending so much time on the app. It's because people are sick of the Instagram versus reality.
Yeah,
like people are really, really sick of it.
Because authenticity builds trust too, which is important for any relationship, but also any business relationship when you're looking for clients.
I love that.
Especially your biggest transaction.
Yeah.
You want to know that you like, know, and trust this person with this huge thing.
Absolutely.
So just be yourself, show up, be consistent.
Yeah.
And define your audience. Be specific.
Yeah. Be specific, but be you, and you'll find your clients.
I think we got the title of the podcast.
Thank you so much, Grace.
Yeah, this was so
awesome.
fun. Thank you guys.